Hello students, welcome to classroom teaching. Students, today we are going to start a very new interesting article or chapter, measurement and effects of heat. We have seen in previous standards, we learned about heat. Heat is a form of energy. Heat transfers from one place to another place. We know that heat transfers from hot object to cold object. We have seen various properties and various effects of heat also. Here in this video or in your book, you can see a picture in which various effects of heat are shown. Like if we heat any object, then that object starts boiling or it becomes hot. So that is the effect of heat. If we heat any solid substance, then definitely or ice, it melts. So these effects are given. We know the balloon, in which the hot air balloon is there, in which air is very hot. That means that is also the effect of heat that we can see or that we know. We have also seen that if the heat is supplied to any object, if heat is given to any substance, then that substance starts expanding. That is the very general effect of heat. If solid is heated, it expands. If liquid is heated, it expands. If gas is heated, then it also expands. And if we take out heat from that substance, that means if we cool that substance, the meaning is same. Cooling means taking out heat. If we cool any substance, then that substance starts contracting. That means its volume becomes smaller and smaller. We know if we heat any substance, it changes its state. That means the meaning is we know the three states: solid, liquid and gases. If we heat any substance, then solid it converts into liquid. This triangle indicates that we are heating that solid. If we heat liquid, then it converts into gases. Inversely also, if we cool gas, it converts into liquid. If we cool liquid, it converts into solid. So that is also the effect of heat that we see, that we know. Again, we have seen that the unit of heat, there are two systems of unit, measuring unit, SI system, and the second one is CGS. In SI system, the heat is measured in joules. And in CGS system, the heat is measured in calories. So these are the two units of heat. And the relation between them is also given. 1 calorie heat, I will write in short form CAL, only 1 calorie heat, it is nothing but it is equal to 4.18 joules. So that is the relation between calorie and joule, which are the units of heat. But actually we cannot say how much heat is present in any substance, because actually the chapter's name is measurement of heat. How could we measure the heat? To measure the heat, we require temperature. That means we have to measure the heat, or we can measure the heat in terms of temperature only. In this chapter, we are going to see that. For that, we require any instrument, and that is nothing but thermometer. In this chapter, we will see the construction of that thermometer. Okay, so let us start with the very known article, that is nothing but sources of heat. Before that, what is meant by 1 calorie heat? The relation is 4.18 joule, but what is the definition of 1 calorie heat? 1 calorie heat, it is nothing but the heat which is required to raise the temperature of 1 gram water through 1 degree centigrade. Heat required to increase the temperature of 1 gram of water through 1 degree centigrade, it is nothing but 1 calorie heat. So let us see the sources of heat. Sources of heat. There are so many sources of heat. The largest source of heat, it is nothing but sun. It is the largest source of heat on earth. That means the maximum amount of heat which is reaching to us, or which we require, it is given by sun only. And how the heat is generated there? What happened on the surface of earth, on the sun? Actually, sun, it is nothing but made up of hydrogen. And on sun, on the surface of sun, 4 hydrogen atoms, they combine together. They are coming closer to each other, and that process is called as fusion process. Fusion. So 4 hydrogen nuclei, they fuse together to form 1 helium nuclei. 4 hydrogen nuclei, they fuse together to form 1 helium nuclei, and in this fusion process, a very large amount of heat is generated. And some amount of heat which is generated there, it reaches to earth. And therefore we say sun is a very large source of heat. In next source of heat, we come through fission process also. So these are 2 different processes, fusion and fission. So we will see it later on. The second source of heat on earth, it is nothing but earth. Earth itself is a very large source of heat. How? If we see earth, if we go down the surface of earth, that means towards the center of the earth, it becomes hotter and hotter. At the center of the earth, the temperature is very high. It is very hot in the center. And this heat, we can use. The heat inside our earth, it can be used, and it is called as geothermal energy. So, it is also a very good source of heat. Earth is also a good source of heat. Then, chemical energy. Chemical energy, it is also a source of heat. Chemical energy means a chemical energy is stored in fuel. If we burn that fuel, that means if we burn wood, if we burn petrol, if we burn gas, natural gas or LPG or diesel, these are all fuels. A chemical energy is stored in these fuels, and if we burn that fuel, we get heat. And we use that heat to run vehicles or to cook our food. So, chemical energy is also a good source of heat. Then next is electrical energy. Electrical energy. There are so many gadgets that we use in our house which produces heat. Tell me some examples. Exactly, try to say examples, try to write the examples in your notebook. We know that nowadays in cold regions, as we use ACs, they use electric room heaters. So that room heater, it is nothing but electrical energy, it converts into heat energy. Or the heater that we used to use for water, that means water heater, that is also the example of electrical energy converts into heat energy. So electrical energy is source, or shagri we can say, it is also a good source of heat. So electrical energy, it is also a source of heat. Then a very large source, that is atomic energy, second large source. First large source is sun, largest source of heat, and the second is atomic energy. Atomic energy, in atomic energy, fission process. It takes place. What is the difference between fusion and fission? A basic difference in fusion process. Fusion means coming close to each other. Very light nuclei like hydrogen, they come together to form a heavy nuclei like helium. But in fission process, a very heavy nuclei like uranium, thorium, it splits and light nuclei are formed. So fission means splitting. तुकडे होणं ज्याला आपण म्हणतो. मोठा युरेनियमचा न्यूक्लियाय असतो त्याचे तुकडे होतात. And in that process, it is called as fission process. In that fission process also, a very large amount of heat is given out. And that is called as fission atomic energy. That is nothing but atomic energy. So the atom that we cannot see, it is very small in size, but it has a very large amount of energy, and that energy is given out in the form of heat. So atomic energy is also a very large source of heat. And the finally sixth source which is given here, there are so many sources, but 6 sources are given in your book. So the sixth is nothing but air around us. Air around us, it also has a very large amount of heat, and it is also a source of heat. So these are so many sources of heat. In this chapter, we are not dealing with heat only, but how to measure the heat. We cannot exactly measure heat. Hot water, we can say the water is hot. The water that we take for bathing, अंघोळीसाठी जे पाणी घेतो आपण, we say it is hot water. The boiling water, it is also hot water. The water which we take to make tea, it is also hot. So hot is a word which cannot exactly say how much hot. And cold is a word which cannot exactly say how much cold. The water we drink, that is cold water. The ice cream that we eat, it is also cold. So cold, it is not the measure of heat. And therefore, we require instrument to measure the heat, and that instrument is thermometer. In this chapter, we are going to see the construction of thermometer. But before that, a very small interesting experiment is given. Let us see that experiment. In this experiment, take three vessels A, B and C. We can take three pots, we can take three buckets, whatever is available we can take at home, and we can perform this experiment. Take very hot water in this vessel A. Hot water. In vessel C, cold water is present. The water with room temperature or water which is cold water. And take few jugs, 2 or 3 jugs from cold water and 2 or 3 jugs from hot water we take in this vessel B. So this water, it becomes moderately hot. म्हणजे ज्याला आपण कोमट म्हणतो, कोमट पाणी तयार झालं. Now do the experiment. Put your hands in right hand in cold water and left hand in hot water, or right hand in hot water and cold hand in left hand in cold water. Put it for 2 minutes in it. And after 2 minutes, take these two hands out and put them in vessel B. What happened? This hand, which is in cold water, it feels that water in B as a hot water. Whereas the hand which is present in hot water, it feels the water in vessel B as a cold water. So, it is a relative concept. Hot and cold, it is a relative concept. And for that purpose, we require to measure its temperature. That means for that, we require a measurement, or we require an instrument to measure the exact temperature of the water or anything. Because hot and cold, it is a relative concept. It changes from person to person, it changes everywhere, and therefore we require instrument, and that instrument, it is nothing but thermometer. So, what is the relation between heat and temperature? That we'll see in next lecture, tomorrow's lecture, the relation between heat and temperature. So, we will stop here for this session. Thank you very much.